If you want to learn about Facebook ads, I'm going to talk about it in this webinar. So this is going to be a free webinar training where I was hired by the SBDC, an entrepreneur who works here in Philadelphia, to talk to different business owners about how to set up and use Facebook ads, not just the boost button. Facebook ads is very complex and can honestly be very difficult to use. And so this webinar is like at 20 to 30 minutes long. It's a free video for you to watch me go through, what is Facebook ads, how do you set it up, how it works, how to build campaigns, how to set up ads, how to do all those things to get the most success, and knowingly how to drive return and having, good transactional customers come to you from Facebook ads and Instagram ads. Now, in this webinar, I'll introduce myself, who we are, what we do here at Momentum, and then I'll get into a lot of details with Facebook ads because the back end can be very difficult and confusing. It's so annoying. I'm kind of over Facebook at this point. They make it so complicated. But thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments of the YouTube video or at the blog, or you can reach out to us directly at needmomentum.com. My name's Mac Frederick. Every week I drop videos talking about SEO, digital marketing, growing a small business online, and all those different things. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, turn on the bell for post notifications, and if you have questions, leave them in the comments below. We appreciate all the feedback we can get. So let's get into the webinar on setting up and using Facebook ads. So my name's Mac Frederick. I used to work for Google in the ads department. I went to Penn State, got recruited by Google, and then started my own marketing agency about 7 years ago. Moved to Philadelphia, and I run a 30-person agency in the city. Facebook versus other ad platforms. So Facebook, everybody's familiar with Facebook and Instagram, I'm assuming. It's basically like a digital billboard. So traditional billboards, you can't really tell how many people saw your ad, saw your billboard, how many cars drove by, how many people called you from that billboard or went to your website. Facebook's similar in nature, but you get to control the highway. Who's driving on that highway, what kind of car they're driving, tell us more about the person, and what ad you want to show them at what time of day, on what platform, and you can track how many people see that ad, how many people click that ad, how many people buy from you. Facebook ads are basically targeted ads. You can target people based on their location, gender, demographic, their interests, what pages they follow, where they physically are at the time, what device they're using, if they've been to your website, and so much more. How they work and how they're successful really depends on a lot of different factors, such as how many people you're reaching, how many times you're reaching them, the quality of your ad itself. Like, is it something visually appealing? Is it a cool video or photograph or visual ad? And are you hitting the right people at the right time with the right message? That's really what it comes down to. You can't just throw ads out there hoping it's going to be successful. So let's talk about organic versus paid. Organic is very simple in terms of you post something on Facebook, and if you're a business, only a certain amount of people are going to see that post, and it's based on them following you. Boosted posts are literally you just click the boost button, you do a basic targeting, basic budget, basic duration, and that's as far as you go with it. The best approach though is to use Facebook Ads Manager. So you could literally go to Google and type Facebook Ads Manager. It will bring you up to facebook.com, which you go to the tool section and you pull up the Ads Manager. So why Facebook ads? Literally, you can target who you want, when you want, with whatever message or offer or product or service that you want to reach people with at any time with any budget. And you reach these people on Facebook, Instagram, and their various ad platforms, because there are different networks within those that we'll talk about. So it's a social reach, a social advertising, performance-based platform. You can spend as little as $1 a day or $1 million a day, everything in between. You can start and stop and pause at any time. The ad networks. So everybody thinks of Facebook ads and they might just think Facebook and Instagram. Well, there's also the Facebook Messenger, there's the audience networks, and then you have the options of where you want to choose to target people on these platforms. So this is within the Ads Manager here. This is not when you boost an ad. This is actually within Ads Manager. You can choose the Facebook feed, Instagram feed. You can target them on mobile versus desktop versus tablet. The Facebook Marketplace, Facebook video feeds, Instagram Explore page, and so much more. So you really are limited when you choose to boost your ad. If you want to really target, all the metrics behind who sees your ad and where they see it at, you want to do it through Facebook Ads Manager, which is, the premium robust feature of Facebook Ads. You need to have a Facebook page. This is easy and free to create. Anybody can create one of these, and you can add different people as managers, completely customize all the settings within the back end here. So once you're in this Facebook page though, and you're the admin, you'll see the options to promote the page. This is basically like boosting the page. You'll see the option to boost posts. You can boost any organic post. So if you look on the left-hand side here, once you're on your Facebook page, you need to be an admin, the owner of the page. You can see the ad center. This is where you can get data, analytics, and metrics about your ads, your targeting, and create ads directly from this ads manager. However, I would strongly suggest that you take the more premium, robust way of advertising and literally just create a Facebook business manager. So you would go to business.facebook.com, and within this, you can create multiple ad accounts, you can add multiple pages, you can add multiple pixels. So if you have multiple businesses, or you have like a company you work with and you do your own entrepreneurship stuff on the side, you're going to want to have a business manager account. Plus, it adds a ton of robust features you're going to need to be more successful when you advertise with Facebook. So business.facebook.com. Once you're in here, you're going to have to create an account. Basically, you sign in with your Facebook profile and you create your own business manager account. And this is where you can link tons of business accounts. So essentially, I have over a dozen business manager accounts within my business, my main business manager, where you can see Momentum Digital as my agency. So this is an entity within an entity where you can have all your assets in one place. Dozens of pages, dozens of ad accounts, dozens of pixels, tons of billing profiles. And on the left-hand side here, you can see there's options to navigate between Ads Manager, your audiences, reporting, account settings, events manager, and much more. So once you're in here, you'll see that you're like the main person on the account, and you can add new people. Let's say a friend or family member, or a new employee or a contractor you hire. You can add them either as an employee or an administrator of the entire business manager account. So then moving forward, literally every Facebook page or Instagram page or ad account that you have access within this huge profile, you can give access to those individuals as well. So as you scale, if you're running a marketing agency or an individual business, or you have multiple businesses, that is why you want this Facebook Business Manager account. Once you're in here, under accounts, you can go to add a page. So you can either add a page that you already manage and own, or you can request access to a page. Your Facebook pixel. Everybody's probably heard about this. If you haven't, it is a free tag. It's a little piece of code that you put on your website. And what that code does is, and you can use something like Facebook Pixel Helper, which is a Chrome extension from the Google Chrome store. It's free. You go up here and you can see that we have a pixel, that it's working and that it's running. This pixel right here, this ID, is a piece of code that connects to our Facebook page and our Instagram page, and literally tells us everything that it possibly can about every person that visits our website. Who they are, where they came from, how they heard about us, what sort of stuff they're into, what they like to buy, their browsing history. Now, it's not as robust as it used to be in the past, but I'm sure you've seen on your own Facebook or Instagram feed, maybe you were checking out a piece of jewelry, and then you on another website, and then you went back to Instagram and you saw that piece of jewelry again. The only reason that's working is because of these pixels and custom audiences. So if you want to target people who have already been to your website or been to your social media pages, you need to set up this pixel and custom audiences. That is literally the number one form of digital advertising's return on investment, is custom digital remarketing lists with Facebook and Instagram. Back to Business Manager. You will go down in the left column here to data sources. Once you click on pixels, you'll see the blue button. Always pay attention to the blue button. You're going to add a pixel. Name your pixel. Facebook pixel. You can see if you already have it. If you're not sure if you have it, you literally copy the URL, paste it here. They do not have it. So, are you ready to set up your pixel? You can continue managing my business right here, or you can set up the pixel now. So you can enter the pixel on the website code manually, or if you have a certain website builder like WordPress or Squarespace or Wix or Weebly or Shopify, it is an easy couple click step integration, and it is not insanely difficult. So if you're not sure what type of website you have, you could go to this website here called builtwith.com, type in your domain, and it'll tell you this is a WordPress website. It says WordPress. You would set up with WordPress and click this, or if you want to set up the code manually, if you have a web developer or you know how to do it, you can do it manually. Setting up with WordPress, it's just a couple clicks. You would add a plugin called Facebook for WordPress to the back end of your WordPress website, and then install and connect it to Facebook, verify the connection, set up the events and confirmation. So it walks you through step by step here. Facebook Business Manager is very different from Facebook Ads Manager. So I'm going to pull this over here. So you go to All Tools, Ads Manager. So this is where you'll see this link, but you need to have a Facebook Business Manager account first. If you don't have a Facebook Business Manager account, your Ads Manager dashboard will look much different and you'll be very limited in what you can do. Now on the top left, I'm going to find the account that I want to use. So we're going to use my phone repair account. You can choose between different accounts in the top left. You can review and publish campaigns in the top right. You can change your timeline, customize your timeline however you want. There's 4 main aspects to Ads Manager. There's the Resource Center, where it's going to tell you what you should be doing, things you need to update. There's probably things that I need to update on here. I need to verify our website domain. This is new with iOS 14.5. That's probably something I should do. Our audiences have decreased in the size due to iOS the 14 update. A lot of people opted out. Some of you might have heard about this with the Facebook ads update. With the iOS 14. So basically a lot of people had the choice to opt out of, on Apple devices, they can opt out of being tracked for ads with their Facebook ads. So that's really increased the cost of ads and really decreased the success of them. Just so you all know, it's a really important point. You can Google that. Next, you have campaigns. So let's talk about creating a campaign. Let's say my goal was to target people that, needed let's say a phone repair or wanted to buy electronics, and they're living within a 2-mile radius of my new location on Temple's campus. And I want to target people that are more likely to break their phones, probably 18 to 35 years old, just because we're probably less responsible and we go out and break our phones a lot. I mean, that's typically a lot of our target market is younger. So understanding your target market is very important to running ads. So what we can do here is you go to create campaign, that green button, and this is where you choose a campaign objective. What do you want to achieve here? Do you just want more awareness of, people to know about your business? Do you want to drive traffic to your website or some sort of link? Do you want to get engagement with your ad, like more views, more likes, more followers? Do you want to actually generate leads, like people filling out forms or, Instagram messaging you? If you have an app, you can, promote an app, or if you run an e-commerce business, you can focus on sales. What most of you are probably going to want is traffic campaigns and driving traffic or getting engagement on an ad. So let's say I want to run traffic to the temple location page. I would copy this URL. I'm going to want to focus on getting traffic, which is link clicks. We'll call this new POP traffic campaign, Temple Campus, March. You want to name your campaigns and be specific. Local 18 to 35. So I like to name the campaign, mostly what I'm going to be targeting and what the campaign is, and why I'm running that. You can A/B test it if you have like specific things you want to A/B test. You can choose a daily budget. Now, really be careful here. Like, Facebook can trick you into thinking this is a weekly or monthly budget. You can also run a lifetime budget. If you only want to run an ad for 100 days, 10 days, whatever it is, you can choose a lifetime budget. I'd probably suggest just starting with a daily budget with something small. You can literally choose $2 a day if you want. It's very affordable to run Facebook ads. The more money you spend though, the more people you'll reach and the more you'll be able to test things within a campaign. Then you can create multiple ad sets. So I'll show you this really quickly. Let's say I want to target 2 different sets, and I would split the budget of $2 per day evenly between them. One gets $1, the other gets $1. So we'll call this ad set, let's call it local females ages 18 to 35. So here's my target market. That is what I name the ad set. I name the ad set based on my target market. The last thing I'm going to add here is I'm going to put cold. Cold means this is a cold audience. I don't use any historical data. I let Facebook target them for me. The conversion location is on the website, so a conversion could be them filling out the form or scheduling a repair. Or I could direct the ads to a phone call or an Instagram message. You can choose where you want to send the traffic. I'm going to send them to my website. Daily budget, you can also change the daily budget within the ad set itself. So let's say I choose $2 here. I can start the ad literally 10 o'clock tonight or whenever I want to start it. And I can end the ad, let's say a week from now, same time. Next, you can create a new audience. Creating a new audience is what I refer to as cold. You're literally just creating a list of people based on like that targeting name that I said here. So I'm going to go for, what did I say? I said 18 to 35, female, location. We're going to do living in this location. We're going to choose the location. Oops. 1910, the Chorus Walk. Let's see if it narrows down. Okay. So yeah, you could go as small as a mile radius, literally right around. If you have a store and you only want to target people, you have a coffee shop and you just want to target people literally right around you, you can do that. So, but my thing, I put 2 miles. Right off the bat, you can see as you manipulate your targeting data, your estimated audience size. So Facebook knows literally how many people you could reach with that criteria of females 18 to 35 living within a 2-mile radius with no extra targeting on top of that. So you can choose interests and targets. Like if you have a coffee shop, you can target, coffee drinkers and so on and so forth. Coffee beans, whatever. You can also browse and go through demographics like based on education, how much money they make, if they're in a relationship, if they like sports, fishing, partying, outdoors, technology. This is called interest and behavior targeting. So this is layered on top of my demographic and location targeting. So we're getting very specific here, and you see that the estimated audience size was cut in less than half. So now it's saying my audience is kind of too small and my budget is too small for them to really give me much information. So what I should do is I should increase the budget a little bit. I should expand my targeting a little bit. And now it's going to give me more data. I'm going to reach more people. I'm going to get more clicks. Now we're going to get really interesting because we're going to use this Facebook pixel. So my Facebook ads know that I have this pixel and that it's working. If I go, where was I? If we go over here to the tools and we go to audiences, you can literally create audiences to a very specific size and science based on your social media accounts and your Facebook pixel. For example, I'm going to click create audience. I'm going to create a custom audience based on my Instagram account for phone repair Philly. I can choose to target anybody who's engaged with my Instagram account in the last 365 days. And I'll also choose anybody who sent a direct message to my Instagram account in the last 365 days. And while I'm at it, maybe I'll do another one. Maybe I'll choose anybody that decided to follow me or anybody that engaged with the post or ad that I ran in the past. And now I'm going to call this ERP, all engaged followers plus messages last 365 days. And you could just like make a longer description there. Does everybody understand what I just did? So now with this audience, I'm only going to target these people with ads. Anybody that's been to my page, engaged with it, engaged with any posts or ads, or sent us a message. And so literally you're just honing in on whoever is probably a customer already or a very good potential customer. And you can create this as an audience. So just for the sake of doing this, I'm going to create this audience. From here, Facebook encourages you to do three things: create an ad, create another custom audience, or what I like about this is create a lookalike audience. This is saying, hey, here are people similar to the audience that you just created that are very likely to be interested in your Instagram page and what you offer. And I choose that typically down to, so that gives me a potential reach of 2.74 million people. And then what you're going to do is you're going to create this audience. So this is like a very sneaky way that a lot of you should be running ads because you'll get more out of your money. So I could click into this subset here, the lookalike of the custom audience I just created. I can go over here and click create an ad. It's not ready yet for me to, the list isn't populated yet. But what you'll see is I'm going to save this initial audience here. Actually, before I do, this is the cold local females ages 18-35, 2 miles radius, iPhone users, nightlife. You can go down and now you can choose your targeting options based on platforms. So I could also choose what device I want to target them on. Mobile only. So I want to only target people on their phones. And I'm going to go with Facebook posts and Instagram. Or I could just go with Instagram and Instagram feed and Instagram stories. Because it's not a video, it's just going to be a single post that I'm going to create. So now I'm really shrinking my audience again. I don't want to get much more detailed in here. That's good enough for an ad set. Remember, we're in the ad set phase right here. Once we hit next, we're going to go to the ad phase. I'm sorry, I know we're probably almost at an hour here. I'll probably be done in the next 5 to 10 minutes. If you have any questions, let them trickle in. All right, now we're at the ad phase. This is where you create the ad. You could literally use, if you want to create like an image design, you could go to something like canva.com. To be honest, though, Facebook doesn't like really creative ads unless it's a video. If it's like an image or a photograph, they don't like a lot of text. They don't like something that's like highly designed. So it's almost better just to use a photograph or like a very good looking image. And Facebook will already have a media portfolio for you to choose from, and I'll show you that. So first you want to do is name your ad. We are going to create ad. We're going to drive the traffic to the temple location page because it's a traffic campaign. We're going to add the media. So we're going to add the image. You can upload it here. You can crop it. You can edit it. You can do all sorts of stuff. Here's the image. We're going to upload that, make sure it looks good. And remember, we're only targeting people in their Facebook feed and their Instagram story feed. You can edit and optimize it here, allow enhancements, so on and so forth. Play around with that. All right, I don't want to get too much into the details. You can paste your URL here. So now people know if they click on this link, they go to the temple location page and they can just bring it in person. We'll put the display URL right here. Show call extensions on your website. Yes, so we want the phone number to show up as well. You can add the phone number right there. Call to action, get offer. You can change the call to action. If you're selling something, that's an offer. And you see down here, website events. I can turn this on for the pixel. So if somebody goes to our website and fills out a form, that'll actually show up as a conversion. So they could schedule a repair or call for a quote, and we would track those things as conversions, which helps you understand the return on your investment if you're getting people as customers using your Facebook pixel and the ad itself. So now I'm going to show you one last thing, is how to create custom audiences using those audience lists that we set up before. All right, so we just launched this ad. Let me see if it actually went through. I think it did. Now what we're going to do, this is a cold campaign for people that have probably never heard of us before. Now what we're going to do is we're going to quickly duplicate this ad set. And literally I'm duplicating everything about it, including the ad itself. So where's the duplicate? Right here's the duplicate. I'm going to call this hot. Hot means to me is all remarketing. So all remarketing, actually we're going to do all Instagram remarketing last 365. So now instead of just targeting, local female iPhone users who are into nightlife within a 2-mile radius, we're going to run that same ad targeting all Instagram remarketing using that list that I just created with another $2 a day budget, which is plenty because my audience is going to be very small because it's based on how many people follow and engage with our Instagram page. So to do this, you go to use save audience. And right here you see, let me see what I call it, Instagram. So what we're doing here is we're using the audience that we created based off of people that engage with us on Instagram. So we'll just use phone repair affiliate Instagram all the last 365. So anybody that's engaged with us on Instagram the last 365 days. And then for the subset targeting, I'm targeting anybody 18 to 65, all genders, all demographics and interests, all languages. However, they need to live within Philadelphia in a 25-mile radius. I don't want to target anybody that's seen me on Instagram and they live in India or Alaska or somewhere. You want to target people locally if you're a local business. And once again, manual placements, Instagram stories. You don't even need to touch the ad again. You're just changing the audience here and you're using this different audience. And now you're hitting publish again. And then last but not least, you can do the same thing with this new lookalike audience, and then you just layer some targeting on top of that. So this was a lot to throw at you guys, but we covered a lot of things. We talked about claiming your Facebook page, creating a business manager, claiming the page within Business Manager and setting up your Facebook pixel, setting up your ads manager, testing ads, settings and permissions, and Facebook audiences. We only touched on the Facebook audiences a little bit, just really quickly about that. You can create an audience, custom audience, based on your website pixel. So what you do is go create audience, sources, website, next. And so it'll show up green here if your pixel's working. And you could say anybody that's been to your website in the last 180 days. So pixel last 180, create that audience. And now whenever you use that audience in an ad, you're only targeting somebody that's been to your website in the last 180 days. It's crazy. Like, you guys are going to save a lot of time or a lot of money. You're going to spend a lot of time on this, but you're going to save a lot of money and you're going to learn a lot moving forward. I hope all this was helpful. There's a ton more you can do with the ads themselves and the ad sets. There's so many different types of ads you can run. Tracking and reporting would probably be a whole other session, but just to show you really quickly, you can customize your reports. So within here, you would see we've created new campaigns. So you could go into the campaign itself. And let's say we went into this campaign here. You can see at the campaign level or the ad set level or the ad level how everything performed. So it's very detailed. This is why it's very difficult to learn this as well. So you can see in like the last 30 days, how many post engagements you've had, how many people you've reached, how many impressions you've had, what's the cost per result. Like, one takeaway here is like, look at some of the cost per results on these things that say remarketing or lookalikes. I'm spending 2 or 3 cents per click or per view because I'm using data, I'm using the pixel, I'm using custom audiences. So you're targeting people that already know about you, and you're going to save a ton of money. You can see how many clicks, how many link clicks, how many leads. If you're selling a product, you can see how many sales, cost per sale, revenue generated, so on and so forth. So that's the reporting side of it, which is a lot more robust than I just covered. So those are the basics. Well, I'd say that was more intermediate. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, all that fun stuff. Thanks, everybody. Mac with Momentum. If you need any help, feel free to send me an email. Thanks again, everybody.